Hey guys, I am so excited about today's video because we are going to set up my 2025 reading journal. And spoiler alert, it is my favorite setup I have ever made. I love how my 2025 bullet journal setup turned out, but I think this one is even better and I am curious to see what you'll think. This is my first time ever using a square journal. And I was slightly worried about how I will adjust to this size, but so far I am having a great time. I was able to fit a lot on one page or spread and I still had room for decoration. It remains to be seen what I will think about it during the year when I will be doing my book reviews, but so far so good. This is technically not a journal but actually a sketchbook by Belly J, but I will keep calling it a journal because to me it is. When I saw this moth embroidery, I just could not resist, and it is actually a big rate. I had to look for the flaw for a while to spot it, and the imperfection does not bother me at all because the journal is stunning. And the paper inside is so thick I had to double check a few times if I did not accidentally flip 2 pages over, and I never did. It is just that thick. It is 200 GSM cardstock, which is a lot. And the journal itself has 120 pages, which is not that much considering I used more than 30 for this setup, so we will see how long this one will last me. I don't plan on doing a review for every single book I read as I did in 2024, so it might be just enough. Okay, let's talk about the cover page. I am doing this voiceover without seeing the video and progress I made so far, so my comments might be sometimes a little late or maybe sooner, but I hope you will still have a good time. I was thinking a lot about what to do with the cover page, and when I received my order from the Notebook Therapy and I saw these beautiful green and black washi tapes from the Whimsical Botanic set, I knew I had to use them. I was low-key planning to use those for my setup, but honestly I did not expect how much I would actually love these washi tapes. I wanted to cover the white of the paper, so I used this grit washi tape all around the edges. Now that I am done with it, I think I maybe shouldn't have done that, but it is too late now and I think it still turned out cute. And then I covered the whole page with this black floral washi tape and it turned out way better than I expected. I love this tape so much. Then I put this green lace washi tape as a border and I just couldn't be happier with how this turned out. On the left I will have a pocket because I could not figure out what to do with that page and I did not want to leave it white. I cut the pocket diagonally this time and I used the same craft paper for the background. I glued both pages together only by the edges and the pocket is done. While I love this black washi tape I used for the cover, I was not sure I wanted it on the pocket as well. It would be another big chunk of dark on the spread, so instead I used this bookshelves washi by Washi Tape Shop to make it look like a big shelf. And of course I added a border with this beautiful green tape, and later I will add another flower washi tape at the top to not have all this big brown space. I was not sure what to do with the reading journal title and basically any title in this setup, so I printed everything twice. One copy on white paper and another on clear sticker paper, so I could use whatever fits best. I put word reading on the same tape as I used as the outer border and I put it in the middle of the page but slightly higher. With the word journal, I just could not decide what to do. I found the white paper to be too bright, so I used this distress stain I have had for years. And I wanted to use it just around the edges of the letters, but I accidentally covered way too much of the first letter, so I just went with the flow. Then I added the stain everywhere around the pages as well. And then everything somehow looked too brown. But I was not sure how to make it better, so I came back to it later after I finished all the other pages. Now, let's start on the actual trackers and lists. And guys, I got very excited about my reading journal and I spent forever planning and I ended up with 15 different trackers and lists. So yes, today we are going to make them all. And I had to make myself scale down, otherwise this whole journal would be just trackers. First, I am going to make a reading goal spread. Here I used more washi from the same set. I just love the combination of black, beige and green. And I also added some dark colored hollow stickers in the top corners because they felt a bit sparse. And then it was time to do all the boxes. I actually had no idea how many there will be once I finish, and it turned out to be a lot. Exactly 95, which reading 95 books is doable, but I am not going to be harsh on myself if I won't be able to fill in all of these boxes. My main goal is 52, so a book a week, and everything else is just a bonus. On the top of the right page I have small boxes, and these are for colors I will use during the year. So every month I pick a color to fill in the boxes, and I will also fill in the mini box next to the corresponding month. I could maybe choose colors now, as I saw many people do, but I do not want to put myself into unnecessary stress. I'd have to, well, first not lose the pen during the year, and then also remember or somehow note down which pen and color it actually is, and I just don't want to do that. I'd rather choose a color each month as the year goes by. I did use only one color in 2024, and yeah, sometimes it was stressful because I could not find that pen. So I hope this system will be much easier for me. And because you guys liked me sharing times each of my bullet journal setup pages took to make, I will share times for my reading journal as well. These are only minutes I spent actually working on the pages, not including planning and sketching, because that took maybe even more than 20 hours. Yes, I was that excited about this reading journal. And before working on every single spread, I also spent 5 to 10 minutes brainstorming about what washi tape to use and checking if the layout works and all of that. So this reading goal page took me 43 minutes, and the cover page with the pocket took me 59 minutes, so yes, almost the full hour. And here I am including time I will spend on it at the end of the video doing some adjustments. Moving on, this will be a spread to write down all the books I read in 2025. I do not have this in my current reading journal, and I sometimes find myself wishing I had. So I am adding it in for 2025. This one will be a Dutch door because I feel and hope one spread won't be enough. But first, let's talk about the decoration. I was undecided about how and what to use this time, and while I love those black tapes, I did not want the whole setup to be all black. So, first I used this illustrated washi tape on the sides. I have had this one for a while now, and I for some reason never used it much. On the top of the spread, I first put this skinnier text tape, and I was not really sure about it, so I put the dried flowers tape on top. It looks better now, but I was still not happy with it, so I moved to work on the table to get my mind off that. And when I came back to it later, I actually removed the text washi tape and put in this patterned one. It is dark reddish brown, and I love this color so much. It is from the Academia set by the washi tape shop, and everything I used in this setup will be in the description. And if I forgot about something, please don't hesitate to ask in the comments. Also, while I was thinking about the decoration, I completely forgot I needed to do the Dutch door, so I made that happen later. And I don't know why, but adding the title made the page look so much better. This table is very simple. I have a space to write down the title of the book, author, date I finished, and then a space to fill in if I read it physically, digitally, or if I listened to an audiobook. And the last section is for my rating. I have been tracking my reading in online reading spreadsheets for the past 2 years, and I have realized I do not care about much of the stuff that you track in those, so I am simplifying for 2025. Also, I prefer pen and paper instead of digital tracking, and I am very happy I now have this spread in my reading journal. Lastly, I added second line highlights and it looks so good now. And if I counted correctly, I have a space for 116 books in here, which is plenty. This spread took me 66 minutes because I was faffing with the washi tape so much. Next is very similar spread, and that's because it's basically the same thing. But instead of a list of all the books, I will add here all the covers of the books I finish. Is it necessary? Absolutely not, but I love how it looks at the end of the year. And we are going back to the black washi tape. I'm also adding these green leaves all around the spread, and because I forgot I wanted to have this here, I had to once again unpeel part of the washi tape and stick the other one under. Also, if you have not noticed yet, I do not like having straight washi tape lines in my journals, so I always rip the edges. Always. I just like the look of that much more. Since covers take up more space, I am doing Dutch doors again, and this time there are 6 pages to use. Now we only need to add the title, and I know covers read does not make much sense, but I wanted to name this differently than previous spread, so I am rolling with it. This one was quite quick and it only took 21 minutes, but really, what was I even doing for so long here? It's the faffing with the washi tape, it always is. Next we have a RyeMi shelf spread for all the books that are currently sitting on my bookshelves unread. There are also some I read 10 or 15 years ago and I want to reread them because I want to be able to continue with the series. I am using another new to me set by Notebook Therapy. It's called Our Stories and it's so pretty. On the top of the page, I'm using this washi tape with collage of different texts and writings and tiny gold details, and when I first saw it, I was not really excited about this tape. But now that I used it here, I actually like it much more. This time I am using the craft dotted washi tape as a background for the title, and I think I prefer the titles on the white background, but this looks okay too. I was thinking a lot about what washi tape to use for the bottom, and I am so glad I chose this bookshelf one. It's so cute. For the list itself, I am dividing the page into 2 columns and adding second line highlights as well. I just love how these make the page look, and they are also practical, so it's a win-win situation. I was so happy with how I made the second line highlights here. These are definitely my best ones yet. They somehow always end up wonky, but I have not had much practice doing this, so it is completely okay. Lastly, I am adding dots as a space to mark if I read the book. I spent maybe 10 minutes writing all the books down, and I am kind of surprised there are that many. To think that I wanted to use only 1 page for this. I now am so glad I used the whole spread. In the remaining space, I think I will write down books as I buy them. This was not the plan, but seeing I have lots of space left, why not? I have spent 28 minutes on this spread. Let's move on to the series tracker, and I went the most back and forth with this one. I just simply could not decide what to do, and having series tracker for 2024 that I barely used because I did not like it was adding to the pressure of making the 2025 version better. I decorated the sides with this floral transparent washi tape, and then I added the same brown tape as before on the outer edges, and yes, I ripped the edge on that one. The transparent tape already has visually uneven edge, which I love, and I also put it on top and bottom of the spread. I just can't stand blank space around the title for some reason. That's why you always see me put at least something as the top of the page. The rest is solely based on my mood and the space I have. Despite spending a lot of time thinking about this tracker, I still was not entirely sure what to do with it, even when I was already working on it. But I just had to decide, so I finally wrote down a title of the first series to see how it looks on the page and if I have enough space, if I need to make a table or anything, and after much faffing with everything, I just left it like this. I have the series title and author next to it, divided only by a dot instead of doing a separate column. And then at the other side of the page, I have dots for the books. There is a big dot for every book I finished by the end of 2024. And these tiny dots are there to tell me how many books there are left in the series. When I finish a book in 2025, I will do a big green dot over that small one. I might do another color, but for now I just fancy the green one. Also, it is very opaque, so it will cover this small brown dot without any problem. It turns out I am in the middle of 19 series and I would love to make progress in more than half of these next year. Also, this list could have been much longer, but when I was writing everything down, I decided not to continue with a few. There is still a space to write down a few more, which I am really happy about. What I was not happy about is the decoration. Yes, again. But I am not stripping anything down this time. We will add stuff instead. I found few bookish related stickers and I like this spread much more now. And this took me almost 40 minutes. Now we have a new spread to me, and that is 25 in 2025. And I am well aware I probably won't read all of them, maybe not even half, but I would like to try. Also, I love how this looks in other people's journals, and I just wanted one for myself as well. I am using this bookshelf tape at the bottom and it is becoming one of my favorites. And on top I went with only this grit tape and it looked so good already, I could not believe it. But me being me, I added the dried flowers tape on top as well. And now it has this homey feeling and I love it so much. Fitting 25 book covers in here took a bit of planning, and in the end I am having 15 books on left page and 10 books on the right side with space for more decoration, which I was so happy about because I could add something else than washi tapes in here. And I added this cute girl by Izabova in the corner, and I also put some plant stickers over a couple of books, and I think it is so pretty. I already had some book covers printed, but I will come back to this spread later once I will have more. This took 26 minutes, also with the covers already added, and I will show you all of them at the end of the video. But now let's work on the page for all the books I buy during 2025. And also read the rainbow page. This is the first time I am doing different lists or trackers per page, and because I want this spread still look like it belongs together, I put only very simple decoration on the sides and in the middle of the spread. And again, I am faffing with the washi tapes. The books bought spread is on the left, and yes, I am well aware I have a big faith in myself having not that much space here, but I am trying to read my shelves first and then buy new books. And if I happen to buy more books than I have space here for, you might have noticed I left the bottom part completely blank, which I rarely do. And the reason is, I can do a flip out there if needed. And yes, look at me thinking ahead. This table is very simple. There is a space for month I acquire a book, then a title, author, and a space to do a check mark when I read the book. There is a space for 29 books, which I believe should be enough, but if not, there is a way to make this list longer. On the right side, there is another spread I have never made, but I love the idea of it. It is the Read the Rainbow page, and by rainbow, I mean I was inspired by Rainbow Order of Colors, but I added a few more. There is a space for 12 book covers, and I have colors written in the markings, so then I can cover it with the book cover. The colors are red, orange, yellow, white, green, dark green, blue, indigo, pink, violet, black, and metallic. And I am hoping to fill this spread by the end of the year, but once again, nothing happens if I don't. Also, I have seen some people deciding on the books first, so they have the whole thing set up before starting a year, but I think the way I am doing it is more manageable for me, and I can't wait to see how it will look at the end of the year. Both of those pages together took 36 minutes to finish. Next is a page I am very excited about, and it is a year in pixels of sorts. And I am going to note in here days I actually finish a book. Not the days I read, because I read basically every single day, and tracking how much I read every single day is just way too much work in my opinion, and I don't really care. Everyone who can keep up with that is just on another level. You might have noticed this does not look like regular year in pixels table, and you are right, it is not. This is a version I saw Jeshi Corinne do, and I instantly wanted to try. It is laid out as a calendar, so we have 7 small columns for days of the week, and each line is a week. I was able to fit 6 months into one big column, so that's why we have 2 big tables here. One for January to June, and second one for July to December. Also, I made lines thicker for the outlines of each month, so it would be easier for me to find the right date. The reason for this layout is that you can see days you finish a book in context of a week. So, I don't know, maybe I will discover I finish most of my books on Fridays or Mondays, or maybe there is nothing like that happening and I finish my books evenly during the week. There is nothing more to it than me being curious and liking this version of the year in pixels, so I am trying it. I am sure this layout would work for so many things to track, and to be honest, I like the look of it much more than the regular year in pixels. And I seem to be losing my voice, so I am really sorry if I sound weird. And I am bringing new tapes to this setup. Yes, I wanted to freshen things up a bit. While I love having a theme, I also want to have some variety in my journal, and because I needed to set up 32 pages or 15 different trackers, I had a feeling it would get old pretty quickly, so I chose a bunch of washi tapes that work together, and that way I can have each page slightly different, but also, I hope, being kind of in the same vibe, same theme. So here I have this grid washi tape on top and bottom. I love how the craft tape looked 2 spreads before, so I am doing this again. And we have flowers on the black background on top of it. I went specifically with black one because on the right side we have DNF graveyard. And I wanted something dark yet cute for it. Since the day I have got this skeleton PET tape, I knew I wanted to use it in this DNF graveyard page, no matter what. So I did, and I tried to match washi tape for this spread to the PET tape, and I think I was fairly successful. But I am sad now that I do not have any more of these skeletons in the frame sections in this PET tape. I have used one on my Iron Flame review in the November reading wrap-up, and one here. That's it. I bought this tape from Journal Say, and yes, while you don't pay much for the stuff, you don't get much either. Plus, there are other things about the site, but I won't go into it today. Also, I had this brilliant idea about putting books at the bottom, like they are sticking from a grave or something, and I love it so much. I could not stop chuckling for a while when I realized what I did. I am the type of person who does not DNF books often. This year I DNF'd only one, but I am trying to get better at this, and while I hope I won't need this page often, I am prepared now. This spread took me 35 minutes to finish, and majority of that was spent on that year in pixels table, but I do not regret even a minute of it. Oh hello, we have new nails, and yes, they are very green and very sparkly. On this spread will be the biggest statistics table I have ever done, and I am so excited about it. I love checking my reading statistics, and if I did not put everything in here, I am sure I would have made a million more pages for all the different statistics. Let's work on the table first, so I know where to put the decoration later. We have 22 columns in here, with the table reaching to 2 pages. I am sure I would be able to come up with more things to track, but let's be honest, 22 is already enough. And I will tell you about all of those once we do the decoration. And I am so excited about this one, guys. I, once again, spent a lot of time thinking about how to decorate this page. First, I thought about maybe using the black floral tape I used for the cover, but that might feel too dark and moody. And then I put this bookshelf tape at the bottom, and it was perfect. So I put it on the whole spread, and now it looks like a big bookshelf, and I absolutely love it. This design did not quite reach the top of the page, but after putting the title in there, I do not think I need to add anything else. It feels airy and inviting, and I think this is my favorite spread of the whole setup. The time I saved on decorating this page, I for sure spent on doing the coloring. Each month has a space of 2 lines, and rather than using black line art, I went with highlighting every second month, and I found a tape with perfect width for that. Once the horizontal lines were done, I thought, why not highlight every second column as well? So I did that, and I love it. Lastly, I added the statistics tract. From the left we have a month, of course. Then we have number of books I finished that month, pages I read physically or digitally, minutes I listened. Next one is called pages overall, and that means I will convert all the minutes into pages and add that number to the pages I read. So I will have kind of overall number to use for other statistics like pages per finished book, which is our next column, and also pages read per day. Then there is a space to write down how many books I bought during the month and how many I unhauled. Then we have audio, physical, digital, and mixed media, and the last section is for ratings. Here we have a section for DNF, 1 star, 2 and 3 stars, 4, and then I go with 4.5, 4.75 and 5 stars. And last one is for the average rating. This might look unnecessary, but I have a system, guys. 4-star books are great, 4.5s are amazing, and I started to use 4.75 rating this year because there were books that were almost perfect, but I just could not bring myself giving them 5 stars. I still need to work on that. And 4.5 seemed way too low, so now I have 4.75 for that. Guys, I have realized I rate my books by how enjoyable they were, so I am ditching all rating systems and going with my gut for 2025. This spread, as you probably guessed, took me a long time, and it is exactly an hour. Only a few more, guys, we can do it. This is another statistics page, and to be honest, I planned to make many more of these, but I had to draw lines somewhere, so I chose this one over the other ideas. This is a space where I will note how many pages long was each book I finish. Each row represents a certain number of pages. From top to bottom there is 1 to 99 pages, then 100 to 199, then 200 to 299, and so on. The last row is for books over 900 pages long. When I finish a book with a certain amount of pages, I will simply color in the square in that row. Each row has 15 sections, so that should be plenty. I will probably not include manga or webtoons in here because this would skew the whole statistics, but I am not sure yet. I am once again using black tape with florals, but this one is different than the previous one I used. This one has yellow flowers, which I think works much better with this craft tape. On the right side there is the easiest page in this whole setup, and that's Hall of Fame. This is a place for all amazing books, not only 5 stars, because I don't rate books 5 stars often, but as you saw in the big statistics table, I have various 4-star ratings, so many of those books will probably end up here. Both pages together took me 25 minutes to finish. Let's go to the next spread, and here we have Book Matrix, and this one is completely copied from Jessie Corinne's reading journal. I like my book bracket, but this seems much more practical. If you don't know what book bracket is, you basically put the best book of each month against each other. But, and I knew this when I was setting it up for my 2024 reading journal, for some months you have few amazing reads and some you have none, which makes the bracket not very useful. In this version, you will choose 10 best books at the end of the year. The previous Hall of Fame page will for sure come in handy, and you consider each book against each other. And at the end of it, you have the exact standings for 10 best books of the year. I don't know how to explain this better, but Jessie can, and I will link one of her videos where she talks about this in the description, as well as other amazing and inspiring journalers, so you could check them out. On the right side, I have the quote-unquote mechanism or the matrix. At the end of the year, I will assign each letter a book and write it down on the colored line next to the letter. And under the whole matrix, there is a space to write down the ranking. And on the left page, I have a space for the cover pages of all 10 books. And that's it. I honestly can't wait to see what my top 10 books will be next year. And this whole spread took 29 minutes. Now for the last spread, we are almost done, guys. This is A to Z challenge, and because I love to do one for book titles and also one for authors, I am using 2 pages here. This is very simple. I am doing second line highlights with letters on the side, and that's it. Now I just need to decorate the spread. I really wanted to use this green black washi tape one more time, so I covered the whole page with it. And it looks awesome. Now we only need to add all the titles. I have the main one on the top, so the A to Z challenge, and on the sides there is space to differentiate each section, which is titles on the left and authors on the right. I cut out each letter individually and arranged them under each other, and honestly, this looks much better than I expected. I spent 29 minutes on this one and we are almost done, guys. I still want to do some changes on the cover page. As I said before, it looks too brown and I don't really like the journal title, so I printed few more versions once again and I tried them off camera and decided to go with this very decorative font, and I simply placed the letters over the previous ones. I am also adding 2025 in the corner there, and I am scraping it from the left side. I have to say I did a fair amount of scraping and this washi tape took it all, no problem. There is not even a scratch. And that's finally it, guys. You just watched me decorate 32 pages and I am sure it was a lot. So let's do a flip through of it all. Here is the first page. I never write my name in here, so it will stay blank, but it is gorgeous. Okay, so the cover page. I love that I came back and changed these things. I also added this little girl sticker and I added one of Marigona Suli, which is in here because it just felt like a lot of the same. So there is something more to it, and here I have grid guide, and you can see some white parts in here, but tape took it so much better than I expected, and yeah, it's okay. If you don't know it's there, you don't know it's there. So I am okay with that. I adore this black washi tape. It's beautiful. Okay, now we have a reading goal. I have a space to mark 95 read books, but I highlighted the number 52. So if I get to this number, my goal is completed. And all of this is just a bonus. And also look at this tape. It's beautiful. Here I have space to mark the color for each month. and I will do that during the year. Next, we have books read in 2025, and I added these stars in here so that I don't have to write stars each time, because yeah, that would not look good. So I did some testing and managed to print out stars that would fit right into these rows. So I am really happy with that. And we have 4 pages. I'm only missing stars for this last row, but that's okay, I can add these later. Okay, now we have space for all the covers, and I really like this. And so we have 6 pages, which I hope will be enough. I will have to wait by the end of the year to see how many I will need to fit on each spread. And I'm doing the same for this year. I still don't have my 2024 covers in my reading journal because I don't know yet. Now we have a RyeMi shelf. I really like how it looks. I love these second line highlights and these golden details. Ah, they are so cute. They are so pretty. Okay. Now we have series tracker, and I have to say I am so glad I added all those stickers in here, because now I am much more happy with the spread. And I also added basically second line highlights, and because I was writing each series on every other row, I ended up highlighting each series, which is okay with me. I think this looks much better now with all these lines. And yeah, I have space for 11 more series, which I don't think I will fill in, but you never know. And now we have 25 in 2025, and I have already put some books in. Yes, there are not 25 books yet, because I want to have space for adding more books during the year, because I will for sure find out about new books that I would like to read. So I have more space here, and yes, here are all the books. There are quite a few books I wanted to read in 2024, but I did not have time for. So they are here once again. There is also Wind and Road, and that is kind of like an easy one, because I already started this book, but I am sure I will not finish it by the end of 2024, and I don't think I will even get to half of it. So it is here, and it will definitely get read. Just Stop Me Now by Jill Barab. I really wanted to read this. This one I have from Illumicrate, and I just read a book by Alison Saft and I really liked it, so I really can't wait. Here we have some non-fiction. I think there is exactly one, but it's okay, I don't really read non-fiction. This is a book one of you recommended to me after watching one of my videos, so I put it here. And this one is from my friend Amber, so I put it here as well, so I would not forget. And Burning God, I hope I will read so that I would finish the whole series next year. I really like how this looks, and this sticker is really nice. Okay, now we have Bookspot, and as I said, I can easily add a flip out in here, so if I need to, I can just make this list longer. I'm also very excited about Read the Rainbow spread. I think it looks lovely, and it will look even better with all the book covers. And here I also added the stars, so I can mark the star rating of each one. Now we have Days I Finished a Book. I really like this version of Year in Pixels, and I'm really excited to use these. And I chuckle every single time I see these books down there. I am really excited about how I did this spread, even though I hope I will not use it much, but I also kind of hope I will use it much more, because I need to learn how to DNF books I don't like. And now, like, look at this, it is so pretty. I'm so happy I decided to go with bookshelves all over the page. Here we have all these statistics, and down here I have a space for total. So at the end of the year I will sum up every single stat, and this will be like full year statistics down there. And yeah, I honestly can't wait. As I said, I love statistics, and this is beautiful to me. Okay, now we have pages read per book. I am really curious because this year I have read, I think, mostly 300-400 page books, I think, but year before I have read lots of Sanderson, so most of the books would be in these sections, and I have no idea what 2025 will bring in terms of reading, so we'll see. Hall of Fame, I added this washi tape sticker in here, and I think it just fits perfectly. And now this is, I think, one of the least exciting spreads, like visual wise, but I really can't wait what 10 books will be as my best next year. And the last spread is A to Z challenge, and this is beautiful. My 2024 A to Z challenge is going fairly good. I am not actively trying to fill in the letters. I have not filled in yet, but it is still going nicely. And yeah, that's it. So I will do a quick flip through to the front. If you want to see more from me and more setups from me, here is my 2025 bullet journal setup. And that one turned out really lovely as well. And here is one of my recent videos. I have no idea what it is, but I hope you will enjoy that. And yeah, we have just a few more pages to flip through. So thank you so much for watching this extremely long video. And I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.